This is not a video I have been wanting to make. I mean, I do. I really do want to make this video. But I don't. If I make this video, that means I'm admitting. It means I have to talk about the scary things going on right now in the world. And I don't like to show weakness. And if I talk about that, I'm going to show weakness because it scares me. Really, really scares me. We're in a situation right now where we're going to be tested. We're going to be fighting things that we've never faced before. We have, but not on this level. We as a community are going to be challenged. And by community, I mean furries, LGBT, trans rights. We're going to be challenged. This is not a fun video like I like making. I like making fun videos that you all can enjoy, gameplay videos. This is not that. This is the most comfortable form I can take right now, as I'm not ready to show my face on camera. But this is how I can talk to you. This is how I can talk to you face to face. We are in a very dark time right now. And it's just going to get worse. Look, whether you want to admit it or not, Trump is a danger to the LGBT community. He is. He's already shown it once with his first presidency, and he wasn't targeting us then. This time, his campaign focused on us. He talked about us. He made us a point of his campaign. And for those who aren't trans and just gay, you think maybe it won't affect you. And maybe that's why some of 12% of the LGBT community voted for him. Maybe that's why. Maybe. But I forgive you. I'm lost for words right now. It's hard for me to communicate what I'd like to communicate to all of you. Because this is scary. This is terrifying for me. It's terrifying. And, you think maybe you think Trump isn't going to affect you if you're just gay. You're wrong. But we'll get to that in a moment. But if you're trans, this is an even scarier time. This is a scarier time for you, for me. Because we are being attacked personally. Trump has made it his mission to eradicate us. But no matter what, we can't stop. We have to stay strong, and we have to fight back. We can't just become a statistic. And if you are thinking of becoming a statistic, I'm going to put some resources on screen, I'm not, but my editor is. He's going to put some resources on screen, and there's going to be resources at the end of the video as well as a link in the description. Because we can't become a statistic. Because if we become a statistic, we help him out. We make it easier for him. And we have to fight back. We have to. And I'm not saying we have to go out and fight, but what I'm saying is we can't stop existing because he wants us to. But let's actually talk about that. What do I mean by we can't just stop existing, and how he's personally going after us? First, let's take a look at his original presidency, his first term, and how he affected us personally, and how he went after us. I have a little thing right here, so if you see me looking over here, it's some research that I did. It has quotes, it has things I want to talk about regarding this. Sorry, I'm trying not to cry because I'm scared. I'm so scared right now. Because while trans rights have become so much farther than I ever would have thought, this is where they might go back, and I don't want to go back. I'm happy with who I am. I'm happy being me, and the thought of that getting taken away is scary. His first term already showed us some of what he wants to do, what he did do. July 26th, 2017. For those of you who are trans, you might already know exactly what I'm going with this. Those of you who wanted to join the military at this time and are trans, you couldn't. What he did at this time is he made it that trans people in the military were banned. They were not allowed in the military. If you talk to any someone who's Republican, somebody who was a former military veteran, they won't tell you that. And I speak from personal experience here. My father, he's retired Air Force. Love him, I really do. But when this I don't know what you want to call it, but when this ban happened, he was like, oh, that's not what they're saying. They're not saying that trans people can't serve the military. They're saying that trans people's health care won't get paid through the military. That is a lie. That is a blatant lie. I have the quote right here. After consultation with my generals and military experts, please be advised that the United States government will not accept or allow transgender individuals to serve in any capacity in the U.S. military. Now tell me, how does that sound like that's our... Let me rephrase. How is that our health care not being paid for by the military? I'll tell you, it isn't. What that right there says is that we, as trans individuals, are not worthy to serve and protect the country that we like. And I mean, fuck, he did that his first term. Who says that he's not going to do it in his second? Now, why would he stop at just military? Well, he didn't. And that's scary. Let's talk about something else that he did during his first year. Because during his first term, for those of you who know, during that time, Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away, which left, there was also two other people on the Supreme Court who retired, but that left another seat open to be filled by Trump. That was 3 seats filled by Trump that year. But that also meant that the Supreme Court was then outnumbered, 6-3, I think. I'm thinking off the top of my head with that. I don't have it exactly pulled up here, but I think it's 6-3 with Republican versus Democrat, which, for our rights, that's concerning, because a lot of these individuals that were selected to be put into this position they already had shown previous rhetoric against LGBT individuals, against people like you and me, people that are trans, people that are non-binary, gay. And now that he's back in office, they're in his pocket. In 2018, there was a human rights campaign, that was talked about by Sarah Warbellow, talking about this exact issue. And this is what, to quote her, she says regarding Brett Kavanaugh, Amy Coney Barrett, and the other one whose name I don't remember. But these judges have history of opposing the LGBT community. And I mean, they took away women's rights to abortions and determined it to the states. And now we have our livelihoods being affected as LGBT individuals. To quote Sarah Warbellow, and correct me if I'm saying it wrong, we've already seen some of the damages that this administration's judicial nominees have done from the Supreme Court down to the lower courts. Many of these judges have shown hostility towards LGBT people, which is very true. And unfortunately, as we go back into this, we have a House or a Senate selected by Trump, not selected by Trump, but in Trump's favor with a lot of his ideals. The House is looking the same way, and the Supreme Court system is in his way. Not in his way, but in his side, I guess. That's a lot of people not there for us. And while not every person on the planet is like that, unfortunately, this is going to be scary times for us as individuals. And yeah, let's see. And then when we go back to, again, his first term, he talked about sorry. Sorry. Okay, so he talked about a lot of religious stuff and, quote, "We will not allow the people of faith to be targeted, bullied, or silenced anymore." The problem with that is the government was always supposed to be a separation of church and state. The government was supposed to be separated from the church, from religious views. And now we have J.D. Vance as vice president, going to be vice president. He's going to be the person that is a Christian extremist. You think our rights are going to be separated from church and state with them in the office? Absolutely not. They are going to focus us. They're going to make sure that our rights as LGBT individuals are not separated from church and state. Because that's, unfortunately, what they believe, that the government and the church should be like this. That the government and the church should be close together, and that's not ideal for us. I'm not saying that Christians can't support LGBT people. My editor, he's Christian, and he supports gay and trans people on a level that you wouldn't believe. One of my good friends, her mom is, I don't remember, but it's a different branch of Christian, and her mom supports her being a trans individual, being pansexual, being all these wonderful things. Another one I know, he's trans within his church and had a whole renaming ceremony in his church. There are some Catholic branches that are wonderful out there. Or, sorry, not Catholic, Christian branches. That's what I meant to say. There are some of those that are absolutely wonderful out there. But unfortunately, that's not the majority. The majority are following old Christian rules. Not following, selecting old Christian rules, old views that say LGBT people are not allowed, basically. And we've already heard it from Trump in his speeches for this election of what he plans for us. But we're not there yet. We're gonna come back to that in a second. Let's see. Let's I'm really trying not to cry. This is something that I'm gonna go on a little personal tangent here. I recently got into a relationship with a wonderful man. He is very kind, very sweet, and I love him dearly. And he supports me for being me. I don't have to hide who I am. I can be non-binary with him. And he understands it, and he doesn't question it. And he treats me wonderfully. And I'm scared that I am going to have my chance of being me with him taken away before I can be with him. And that's scary, because I just want to live my life with him. But unfortunately, for some fucking reason, other people are more concerned with how I dress, how I act, what I look like. Because I don't know. For some reason they are. For some reason my gender has affected or hurt people and ruined their lives and affected their children in all these quote-unquote negative ways, which is just bullshit. There was a time when I believed that the president in office didn't matter based on views. There was a time that I believed that no matter what, he or she or they were going to be an inspiring individual to our country. I don't believe that anymore. What I do believe is the president shouldn't put fear into the individuals of this country. There's no reason that we should be afraid of who's running our country. But unfortunately, I am. Unfortunately, I'm terrified. I'm genuinely afraid of what could happen to me. And I am genuinely afraid of what could happen to my boyfriend. Because this time has been breeding hatred, not kindness, not acceptance. It breeds hate. And what comes with hate? Violence. And it's scary. It really is. Let's talk about something that people act like. People argue he's not targeting LGBT individuals. No. He's just making it more acceptable for everyone. He doesn't care if you're gay or trans. And while he may not have cared if you were gay and you were working under him a long time ago, he, at some standpoint, does care what we do, how we affect others by just existing. (2020) That was the year of COVID. That was the year things were horrid for a lot of people. And that was also the year that Trump rolled back certain um, rules and restrictions and things that Obama had put in place to prevent discrimination against LGBT individuals and the people that they associate with. Transgender and same-sex couples used to be protected from discrimination in the workplace. They still currently are. They used to be protected under discrimination against healthcare, and that their healthcare couldn't be denied based on their sexual orientation or based on their gender identity. Trump's first term, he changed that. He made it so that, from my understanding, based on your religious beliefs, you could deny certain individuals healthcare based on their gender identity or sexual orientation, sorry. Because if you did not believe in that sort of thing, there's no reason somebody like you should have to give them healthcare. Healthcare. Are you fucking serious? Because that's, they're like, oh, well, that doesn't affect you in a life-threatening surgery. Yeah, it might. Maybe the best cardiothoracic surgeon doesn't want to perform heart surgery on you because you're a trans individual and he doesn't believe in trans rights. Now, realistically, that's not going to happen. But it doesn't change the fact that there are people who are going to be put in situations that are going to affect them. Because if that goes back into place, fuck. You could not get simple drugs, maybe. Just not drugs that you need. Like, if you're a diabetic and you need insulin, a type 1 diabetic, you need insulin, and maybe the person that you decide to date is a female and you're a female. Well, fuck you. The doctor that you have, because you live in the middle of buttfuck Ohio, decided, nope, no insulin for you. Not no insulin, but I'm not helping you. I'm not going to fill your prescription because I'm denying you service because you're dating a woman. That's not fair. It's not fair to anyone. Other things that you probably didn't think about, housing. People could get kicked out of their houses. Not kicked out, but now people are allowed to not sell you a house because you're gay or because you're trans, or you're not accepted into a college because you're gay or you're trans. I know I've worked hard for my education. I spent 2 years at a public college so that I can go to a big university for my last 2 years and get my bachelor's degree, and then I can make something of my life. And that's not saying that you can't make something of your life if you don't go to college. I'm not saying that you can do a lot of wonderful things without going to college. But for me, what I want to do, I have to go to college. But what if I got denied my universities that I wanted to go to because I'm gay? Because I'm non-binary? How is that fair to me? It's not fair. I have about 10 more of these points that I could go through. Him talking about how, quote, transgender women, biological male, should not be allowed to compete in women's sports. It's unfair, and I think it's something that we should fight against. If you've done your research and you know what happens to a transgender woman when she starts taking estrogen and what happens to her body, you wouldn't say that. Because you know what happens. I know what happens because I did the fucking research. Trump didn't. He's just going to say that because he's president and he's picking sides. That's going to go back into effect, I guarantee it. The laws that would ban... Let's see, hold on. Where is it? The bathroom bills that he passed at the time. Why? There's, like I said, there's about 10 more of these that I could go through. Let's see. Here we go. Here's another quote that I can pull. I think we're going to have to give people more flexibility because the religious liberty issue is a big issue for a lot of people. They don't want to have to serve a same-sex couple. Why the fuck not? How is that fair that they can say no to a same-sex couple? There's no reason they should be able to say no to a same-sex couple. It doesn't affect them. I mean, if they're being rowdy and disturbing other customers, fine, kick them out. That's not because they're a same-sex couple, though. Does that mean that I should be allowed to kick out straight people if I owned a restaurant? Well, I'm sure they would throw some fucking hissy fit about that if I kicked out straight people. But he already attacked civil rights laws once regarding us. He's gonna do it again. Let's see. I mean, you could talk about AIDS and HIV and how he thought it was a waste of, what did he say? It was a waste of government resources to try and treat it. That's nice. My point is, there's a lot of things that I could specifically pull from that. And, wow, there's a lot of things I could pull. And that's just the past. And we've already seen what he said about the future. I don't have those exact quotes up. But he's already said that if he gets reelected, which he has, but he said that if he got reelected, he would make it, he essentially said that he would make it illegal for you to swap your sex, to change your gender. That there were only two recognized genders. There would only be two recognized genders in the United States, male and female. Which, if you go and look at the fucking science behind it, that's just not the case. Gender's a spectrum. Sex, there's two of. Your biological sex, there are two of. And you can switch your sex through surgeries and hormones. But gender is a spectrum. Gender is a wide spectrum. Then from there, you had that, but then he's going to target not only the trans adults. He's going to take away the healthcare for the adults, the trans healthcare for adults. No, you don't get to be trans. Well, shit. But then anyone seen endorsing trans individuals is going to get a quote from my recall. I don't have the exact, well, I won't say quote, but he said that if anyone is seen supporting or helping them, they too doctors could lose their medical license. They'll have severe consequences. That's what he said. And he is making blatant lies that teachers are taking children out of school, going to take them to these the opposite sex reassignment surgeries. Are you fucking serious? The school can't even give you a goddamn book without your parents' consent. You think they're gonna take you off school property, have you have a fucking surgery that, first off, takes longer than 8 hours to do, and then the recovery time at the hospital is multiple days. But no, what's going to happen is they're going to take you out of school, make you have this 8-hour surgery, over 8-hour surgery, in less than 8 hours, take you back to the school, and then send you home. Are you fucking serious? Let's use some goddamn common sense and think about that. It's stupid is what it is. But any teacher or person suggesting that a student might be in a quote-unquote wrong body is going to face severe punishments. How is that fair? I mean, to the teachers aren't suggesting to children that they're in the wrong body. More often than not, it's an individual like me who feels in the wrong body. Do you know what it is like to look at your body in the mirror and feel absolute disgust for it? Do you know what it's like to have facial hair growing and you want to pluck out every individual strain because it makes you sick? If you do, you know what it's like to be in the wrong body. If you don't, you don't know what it's like. But I would never suggest that to somebody else. They would only ever suggest it to me. So ultimately what it is students go to teachers, they talk to them about their feelings, because students form a bond with their teachers. From there, maybe the teacher talks to the parent and tells them that, because they think, you're having children, you're supposed to love them unconditionally, why wouldn't you? Oh wait, most parents don't. And you end up in a situation like this. But it's not parents suggesting that, or it's not teachers suggesting that to parents, it's the student suggesting it to the teacher, who then informs the parent sometimes. But even then, if you don't know what it's like, why do you get to make a decision on our bodies? So to my friends, to all of you who are trans, or LGBT, or a friend of somebody who's LGBT, or maybe you're not, please be careful out there. Please go and realize what's going to happen over the next 4 years and how it's going to affect us. Because it's a scary thing. It really is a scary thing for us. It is scarier than I can put into words. It is absolutely terrifying, and all I want is to be able to be me, and that's what most of us want. But for some reason, us being human is a problem. Us existing is a problem. And the irony is we live in the land of the free. And they're restricting our rights. They're taking away our right to be free. But ultimately, be strong, be brave, and don't stop fighting. We're here, we're not going away. If we keep showing that we exist, they cannot get rid of us. If we stop, though, that's how they get the better of us. If we stop existing, if we stop showing we exist, that's how they erase us. We cannot stop showing us. We are here and we're proud to be here. We are trans and we're proud to be trans. We're non-binary and we're proud. We're gay, we're intersex, we're agender. You're gender fluid, you're lesbian, you're bisexual, you're pan. You are who you are. And you're proud to be you. Because if you let them think you're not proud to be you, if you stop showing who you are, that's how they win. By wiping us out. Because the less of us there are, the less of us there are, the easier it is for them to shove us under the bed, to sweep us under the rug, to pretend we don't exist. The more of us there are, the louder our voices are together. They can't do anything. Think about it this way. You're in a classroom. There's a single pencil tapping. It's pretty easy to ignore. You're in the same classroom. 30 other students are tapping their pencils. It's a lot louder, isn't it? So no matter what, don't let them take your voice. No matter what they try and do, they might make it so that it's extremely hard for us to get the health care we need. They might try and say that, they might try and take it off social media. They might try and do all these things. We do not stop. And God forbid he go down the path of genocide and wiping us out. We don't stop then either. We fight back. We fight for who we are, and we be proud of who we are. Because if we take ourselves out, we've already lost. But again, if we take ourselves out, we've already lost the fight. So don't stop existing. Be safe, of course. Do what's gonna be safest for you. But we can't stop fighting. We've worked so hard to get where we're at. With that said, I'm Blue Splash Paw. I'm Blue. And I'm going to be signing off of this video here. But I'm not going to do my normal outro. What I am going to ask is please share. Please share this to somebody who you think deserves it. Maybe not even deserves it, but needs to hear it. Please, we need to stay together. We need to stand together, and we need to be strong. But with that, have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll have a normal upload later this week. But stay strong, my friends. Bye-bye.